welcome to another episode of Jungle Connect at JungleWorks YouTube channel. This is Tahira, and we have with us today a very special guest joining us from South Africa. Let's welcome the Managing Director of Shelfline and know all about his business. What is he into and what is he trying to do? How is he trying to change the world with his ideas? Hi, welcome, Oren.
Hey, thanks so much for hosting me. I really appreciate the opportunity to tell our story. We have built a technological platform. It's an aggregator type solution where we provide the necessary skills and requirements for youth in the townships to, one, become economically included, two, to become trained within certain sectors. And we've solved probably the biggest challenge, which is last mile, I call it last meter deliveries. We've probably got the oldest ride-hailing solution in the world, even before Uber was born. We have a taxi industry. I'm sure if you've ever visited South Africa, you would have seen our taxis. They're obviously a very powerful sector. They currently have around 15 million commuters a day currently traveling via this network, and it's never been digitized. And it's, when we looked at the asset being the taxi, we had noted that it was only being utilized at 30%. And we saw a big opportunity during their downtime when people are at work and at school to have the ability to use the taxi industry for a courier perspective between 9 and 3 in the afternoon when they had dead time. There was no peak periods, and they literally utilized our platform to start becoming courier agents on behalf of South Africa's biggest retailers.
Oh, wow, that's great. What made you come up with this idea in the beginning?
We've always had challenges around economic development within the township space. So, 88% of our 327,000 stores are unregistered. So that poses a big economic opportunity from a country perspective in order for us to almost build solutions around education. What we want to see is the community having a role in society where they can sell and deliver the brands they love.
So last mile logistics is quite a complex and it's the most expensive part of the whole logistics process, So what were your initial challenges?
I think, again, it's the systemic issues around using a ride-hailing solution. So unfortunately, we do live in a country where violence is an everyday occurrence. The taxi industry is always publicized within a negative space via our media. People tend to criticize our taxi industry based on its driving performance on the roads. Its inability to stick to the rules of the road. It's what we've tried to change is the systemic issue of a taxi and the systemic issues of a taxi driver. So that's been the biggest burden. By us monitoring the performance of these taxi drivers, both in ride hailing and logistics, by incentivizing these drivers to drive better and drive responsibly, we've seen incidents, accidents, etc., go down from 60,000 to 12,000 just by showcasing behavioral changes and also providing people with an understanding and an incentive program to say to the drivers, drive better and earn more.
So did this idea, how did you come up with this idea? Did it struck you one day?
To answer your question in a very long around way, is what we've essentially done is taken data and then built a technology ecosystem that can almost perform the tasks of what consumers and shoppers want in the township landscape using existing infrastructure.
Was it difficult to organize the initial funding? Because usually, whenever we talk to an entrepreneur, the basic thing is that, okay, I have an idea, but where will I get the funds from?
I think that's quite a fascinating question. I think that, over the last 9 years of being an entrepreneur, it is very difficult to get access to financing in South Africa. I mean, you need a minimum of 3 to 5 years auditable financials, very strong cash flow and liquidity within the group. But what Entrepreneur is trying to solve unemployment and solve logistics in 70% of its current economic opportunity within South Africa to do it on their own funds. So to date, I've received no funding. I have funded this business model in my own entirety. I've invested in the technology development in my own entirety. And now I'm excited to say that we do have a lot of interest, a lot of investment interest, purely because we're very profitable. I mean, who as a logistics partner can offer you 20 to 30% net profitability as a logistics partner? So we have had investment partners around the public sector that have invested in our youth programs. But when it comes to infrastructure development, technology, marketing, that's been my pocket. So I've made a lot of sacrifices to become this business. But you know what, it's all worth it. When you see someone that's from a previously disadvantaged community now earning a salary and putting food on the table, that's what drives and stimulates me.
A lot of entrepreneurs, they struggle with marketing, like it's a new thing in the market. And how do you get it to the potential audience? How do you involve people, and especially a business like logistics? So how did you manage that?
You see, again, it goes back to the data, right? And it's about telling your story. So any good marketer starts with a story, right?
Right.
And we've really done within our content videos, within our marketing, within our social platforms, is almost tell the story of poverty and how things are currently happening within the township landscape and how our business model is providing hope. And we've almost articulated, so when we build marketing stories or content videos, it's actually done in South Africa's most spoken language, which is Zulu, which is a local language in South Africa. Typically, 80% of our population, speak, we've got 9 official languages in South Africa. So by us relating our content story in a local tongue, it also enables the youth or the person in the township to really understand the story we're trying to tell, and that our business is now providing hope to those in need.
Coming to the fun part of the interview and the last part of the interview, we have like some words for you. So I'm gonna say some words and you have to whatever comes to your mind, to say it without thinking, like a rapid fire round, we can call it.
Okay.
So shall we start?
Yeah, let's start.
Okay. Entrepreneurship.
Difficult.
Difficult. It doesn't seem so difficult for you.
No, I think, and I think you've summed it up from the beginning, right? Is convincing people that there are entrepreneurs that have the skill to perform tasks on your behalf have been very challenging. I think most South Africans are opportunists, not entrepreneurs. So it is difficult because you don't get financial relief from banks, you don't get any level of support, and you're constantly selling your marketing proposition. And it's tiring. I mean, to tell the same story over and over and over again is the first sign of insanity, right? So yeah, I think entrepreneurship is very difficult in the South African landscape.
Okay. Taxi.
Opportunity.
Great. Hyperlocal.
Aspirational.
Aspirational. Yeah, the future, we can say.
100%.
South Africa.
A gold mine. So one word. Potential.
Potential.
Yes.
Great. Toucan.
Masters. When I essentially partnered with Toucan on my delivery components, they literally built every single thing that I'd ever thought about. So it shows that they really are masters within the last mile logistics space.
Great. How did it help you? Would you like to elaborate a bit on that?
One, I mean, it's basically the Uber of logistics, right? So, and it's a very easy technological tool.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take a lot of training and requirements to enable, our organization to have partnered with Toucan. So, we had one training session, that was it. and my team were ready to deploy taxis via an application. I also think from a customer service perspective, you know, they are there to help you. They obviously want you to perform. I mean, look at the opportunity you gave me to talk on this platform today. You know, they look at entrepreneurs such as myself and want to be able to give them the platform to become the next Amazon, but using entrepreneurs' infrastructure via a platform. So I think, yeah, master would be a great terminology, because they are masters of my universe, where they've really enabled me to build a very simplistic logistics solution with a very complex model that they've simplified into a platform.
Great. That's great to listen. Thank you so much, Oren, for joining us today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. And thank you for hosting me. God bless and take care.
Take care.
Inshallah. Bye.